Right, good afternoon, boys and girls.
Good afternoon, Miss Jones.
This afternoon, we will be looking at watersheds and wetland. We will begin first by going through what's the objective of the lesson. So the objectives are to identify watersheds and wetlands, to recognize the importance of watersheds and wetlands. I would like for you all also to be able to identify the threats that make the wetlands not so sustainable for us. I would also like for you all to interact in groups, so please, your participation is very important. You are to be able to share your knowledge within your group and responses, be able to come and share your responses with the rest of the class. From when you meet with your groups, outside of your groups now, I would like for you all to come and share with the whole group. Okay? Just a little guide of what we will be doing. We will be first doing a little brainstorm. So we'll do a nice little introduction activity. Let me explain this activity some more. What you will do is create a mind map. So you will use whatever little picture or words that come to your mind for uses of water. Water as a resource. Why is it important to us? What do we use water for? So right about now, you can start thinking about that. Having done that, we will move on into our words that we will use in our class today. So we will look at our vocabulary words so that you will be able to better understand the lesson. So we will go through our vocab words after we do our mind map, and then we will do our read aloud. After the read aloud, you will look at a short little video. Then you get in your groups and share with your group. What is it that you're getting? What is it that you're learning today from this lesson? Then we conclude up. We wrap up the lesson. You do a little conclusion activity, and I will also give you some extended activities that you all can take home and do, like puzzles. You can do a little game, and we can do a little short part of the game before the class ends. And you also get, at the end of the class, I will remind you again, you will also get to write a song or a poem. It is your choice. So you need to listen to the lesson, you need to take part, so that you are able to understand everything that we set out in our objectives to obtain, so that you can do a very good job at your poem or your song. And it will not, that part will not be group work. Individually, I want each of you to write a song or a poem. But we won't do that now. That's for the ending of the lesson, right? So let's work on our mind map now. Can I have a volunteer to come up and put a word or a picture on the mind map? Let's see if you notice. If you notice here on our mind map, we have the word water, because this is the focus of our lesson today. Our general word is water. As we move into the lesson, we will look at more specifically at watersheds and wetlands, so to speak. So, just as a little introduction, what do you all know about water? I have some names here, so if we don't have any volunteer, we can call on Tiana. Come, Tiana. Imagine this is our mind. Imagine this is our brain. If you close your eyes and think of all the things that you can see happening or surrounding water, what would those things be? So let's see how we can somehow map our mind up here of our knowledge of water. Yes, Tiana? You need a marker? You want to write something? Or you want to put a picture? Put a picture. So you need a piece of tape? Where's your picture? All right, Tiana is going. Let me put a little mark for her. Imagine this is our mind transmitting this knowledge that we have of water. Put your word or your picture, Tiana. What is your word? Tiana's word is health. So Tiana is saying that we use water for health reasons. Maybe for bathing at the hospital. True? So those, yeah. So all the healthy reasons that we can think about. And in her picture, there's a little girl drinking water. Very good, Tiana. Can we have somebody else come up? I need to pick another name. Come, Richard. After Richard, we will have Princella. Anywhere, Richard. Richard word is energy. And it looks more like a dam. You know that you have the dams that generate electricity. So the water is used for energy. So class, and this is only some. We can go on and on with this. This is only a few of the things that we use water for. Very good. Let's look now at some of the vocabulary words that we will be using in the lesson. Can I have someone come up with a word? All right, this is our first word that we will put here on the board. And Key will explain to you, or she will tell you what's the name of her word. Groundwater. Groundwater, very good. Can I have Kayla come up? Come, Kayla. Where is your word? Where's your paper? Your word study paper. Everyone take out the word study papers. Kayla will explain to you all the things that she knows about her word. Turn around to them, Kayla. Let me put up her word first. What is your word, Kayla? Eutrophication. Eutrophication. Say the word. Eutrophication. Again. Eutrophication. How do you spell eutrophication? E-U-T-R-O-P-H-I-C-A-T-I-O-N. Eutrophication. All right, so Kayla will now explain to you some of the things that she knows about this word eutrophication.
Syllable 5. Eutrophication. Definition: the process by which a body of water becomes enriched in dissolved nutrients as phosphates that stimulate the growth of aquatic plant life, usually resulting in the depletion of dissolved oxygen. Word part. Prefix eutrophic means well nourished. Root word shun. Sentences: the increased growth of plants and algae that accompanies eutrophication depletes the dissolved oxygen content of water. Due to the eutrophication, there are often a die-off of organisms such as fish. Parts of speech? No.
Okay, give Kayla a big hand, class. All right, and the rest of you has their word study handout that you can follow the parts of speech, the sentences in which the word is used for the word eutrophication, and we'll put this right beneath here so that when you have time you can come up and look at it again, see what's the antonym for the word, what's the synonym for the word, the origin. When you study a word like that more in depth, rather than just study the definition of the word, when you study the parts of speech, the syllables, it gives you a better understanding of the word and you learn the word better. I need you to follow as I read. And if I ask questions, then you can raise your hand if you think you know the answer. Or if you have a suggestion while I'm reading, you can also raise your hand and share whatever ideas, Kenroy, that you have. Water quality. Whenever you find clean water, you will also find healthy people. Clean water is a basic need to improve and maintain our quality of life. Our water quality is often threatened by our harmful human activities like pollution or by natural events like floods. Although we may have access to water, it is not always the best quality. Health and environmental authorities must constantly monitor our water resources and to guard against water pollution. Polluted waters can cause, what are some of the things that you think polluted waters can cause? Raise your hand.
It's like
Germs. Germs like what?
malaria.
Like malaria, cholera, very good. Or typhoid fever, dysentery, and other life-threatening diseases. It can also cause water shortage. Belize is divided into 33 watersheds. As you will notice on the watershed map that we will look at in a short while, okay? We will look at some of these watersheds. A watershed then is an area of land that drains all the streams and rainfall into an outlet, such as a river, a stream, channel, or sea. The word watershed is sometimes used to mean drainage basin or catchment. Homes, farms, ranches, forests, cities, towns, rural communities, they all make up watersheds. So watershed is not just one simple little area. Watersheds come in all shapes and sizes. Some are millions of square miles, while you have others that are just a few acres. Smaller watersheds are nearly always part of a larger watershed. What do you think? What do you think would happen? I want you to think about this. What do you think would happen if our watersheds were to be destroyed? And if you look here, you will see this girl. There are some little school friends conversing, and that's the same question that she's asking her peers. What they think. The boy is saying that I do not think about it. I just don't know what I can do to prevent it. But I don't think that you all think like him. So let me see if I can get from some of you what you think would happen if our watersheds were to be completely destroyed. Yes, DeAndre? We would have less water, yes, but what type of impacts would happen as a result? Jesse? Okay, he said we can die of thirst. Maybe we will have drought, true? Yes? The fish will die. Very good. Say, at least you're not thinking like this boy who is saying that he don't know what to think. Anybody else from that side of the classroom? I know you're great thinkers. What do you think would happen? Germs will spread. the reef. It would affect the reef. Very good. Let's continue with the reading. Follow as I read. There are 5 main watershed regions of Belize. 5 main watershed regions. Let's look up here for a second. The first region here is explaining or showing us examples of watersheds that we would find in the northern region. Northern region. Which part of our country would be considered the northern region? Jesse? Huh? Corozal and Orange Walk. Very good. And are you familiar with the word New River? New River. So New River is a watershed found in the northern region. Then we have the central region, where you would have watersheds like the Belize River. Another region would be Gulf of Mexico region, you know, like when you're going to Chetumal. And then you also have the southern part of the country. Rosanna. Where's Rosanna? Oh, Roshana, yeah. What are some of the places that we would find in the southern region? Jesse said we would find Orange Walk and Corozal in the northern region. And there are rivers like the Rio Hondo New River, Northern River, that makes up watersheds in that area. So what are some of the areas that comprises of our southern region or our southern area? Anyone would want to help her? But we have the same people answering. Let's hear from Key. Yes, help her then. Stan Creek District, right? And so, class, if you focus up here, you would see Deep River. That's a watershed in that area. Mango Creek. Anybody went to Mango Creek from this class? Good. So you all know Mango Creek. That's a watershed in the southern region. Are you all following now? So you have an idea of what a watershed is. When you travel, you see the rivers, right? Like the Belize River, when you're on the Western Highway going maybe to the zoo, for example. Right? And you look west. Do you see the river? What would you see if you look east? Huh? The sea. Very good, Jesse. And then we have farther south of the country, we have more wetlands like the Rio Grande and the Sarstoon River. What do you know about the Sarstoon River? That's a watershed. Yes, we know that now, because that's what we're learning today. But what else do you know about our Sarstoon River? Let me see. Let me ask Aliyah. What do you know about the Sarstoon River? It is the southernmost river, right? The river at the southern border with Guatemala. Okay, let's continue. Most of Belize's watersheds originate mainly from the Maya Mountains and drain into the Caribbean Sea. What is it that I'm saying there? Most of Belize's watersheds, they originate from the Maya Mountains. What is it that I am saying? That the watersheds, what? That they come from the Maya Mountains and then they travel through, let me see if I see the word, tributary. You know, all the tributaries and little ponds and swamps and creeks, all of them travel and meet up, and then the last place to go is into the what? Into the sea. Very good. Of course, our watersheds they also share international borders, like I just mentioned. Which one did I just mention shared an international border? Let me see if you were listening. Which one? Which river or watershed did I just explain or remind you? The Sarstoon River, the one in the southern wetlands, that one shared the border with which country? Guatemala. Very good. How about north? The northern watersheds are wetlands. These ones here that says northern. Which one would be at the border? Which of these watersheds? Which of these watersheds? Here you have Freshwater Creek, New River, Northern River, Rio Hondo, Shipstern, and Progreso Lagoon. Which one? Rio Hondo. You see when you go across the bridge, like when you're leaving the Belize immigration into Mexico, that's the Rio Hondo River. So you learned something today, right? That's the Rio Hondo River. Another example is Belize's second largest river basin system, and we just mentioned it, the Rio Hondo. The biggest system is the Belize River watershed system. Which one is the biggest? The Belize River watershed system, and the second biggest is the Rio Hondo. Very good. I would like for you all to join in now with Belize's watersheds. Everybody start there.
Belize's watersheds consist of both surface water, which includes springs, streams, rivers, and lagoons, and also groundwater resources, which are found under our soil and rocks. Our watersheds are often renewed mostly from groundwater and surface storage in the large lagoon systems in the northern lands. Watersheds are important because everything that happens on land eventually impacts the water flow and the water quality of that river, stream, or water body, even when the water bodies are miles away.
Okay, very good. If you look up front here, you will see a diagram showing you that cycle that the water goes through. In your reading, you read about groundwater. That's the water below the ground surface, right? And so sometimes when you have the rain, the water come down. What do we call that? Precipitation, true? And then the water, notice so it has there the stream, the water is discharging in the area beneath the ground. And then when the water stays there, it becomes groundwater. Then you have surface water that would be on top of the ground, like the rivers and the streams and tributaries and so, marsh and swamp. Then you also have those areas where the water stay, and it is called a well, and some people use well. What do they use well for? To take water out, maybe to wash some clothes or cook, right? Yes. All right, look at this. We can protect our water resources by what? Maybe protecting our watersheds, and we can do that. We can start doing that by conserving water. We don't pollute, and we protect our forests. Resources. Belize has 33 watersheds and 7 groundwater provinces. Some of the threats, pay attention to this, because when it is your turn to get in your group, these are some of the things that you will want to be discussing in your group. What are some of the threats to our watershed areas, our wetland areas? Land degradation, water pollution, drought. Remember somebody mentioned about drought. Rapid urban development. What is urban development? Urban development. Do you live in an urban area? Yes. So Belize City would be considered an urban area. So what are some of the developments that you see when you leave John Vianney School and you go on your way home? What are some of the developments that you see? You see roads being fixed or buildings being built, so big buildings. So sometimes when you do this type of development and don't plan properly, then it eventually effects of those go and destroy things like our watershed. Deforestation. What is deforestation? Chopping down of trees and then you don't plant them back, right? You just chop them down and that's it. forest fires, high water consumption, and climate change. And see, on the other side, you can see some of the things that happen as a result of these threats, like loss of watersheds. And I think somebody mentioned that earlier, that we can completely lose our watersheds if we continue to do things that threaten them. Let's now look at the video. I want you to pay attention to the video, and I hope you were paying attention to the threats and the impacts, because you will now need to tell us what is it that you have learned from the lesson. So I hope that you were paying attention. Anyone has any question before we move on? Anything that was not clear? Maybe a word from the word wall, or something from the read aloud?
And wetlands can be a lot of things: stagnant or flowing, fresh, brackish, or salty. Wetlands are a common feature on the Belizean landscape. Sitting at the bottom of the Belize River watershed are the freshwater wetlands of Crooked Tree. If we trace the tributaries, we'll find that the Crooked Tree wetlands collects water from the western slopes of the Maya Mountains, and with the help of the Chiquibul, Mopan, and Macao rivers, meanders through to the Belize River. Here the water slows and gradually winds its way through a series of lagoons and rivers and creeks and streams right down to the coast. All these tributaries, creeks, and swamps make up the largest watershed in Belize, called the Belize River Watershed. Globally, wetlands cover less than 10% of the Earth's surface, but they are the source of almost 1/4 of the world's productivity. Saltwater wetlands provide nursery habitat for most of the fish and shellfish that we eat. Freshwater wetlands hold more than 40% of the world's known species and provide food for everything from microbes and invertebrates to reptiles and mammals and people. Wetlands also store water by acting like a giant sponge, a feature which in turn also helps to buffer surrounding areas and communities from the effects of flooding. Because of our geographical location, we can also appreciate another benefit of wetlands: protection from storms. Central America can get hit from both sides by hurricanes, making this area one of the most environmentally vulnerable regions of the world.
The wetland is it's a very important component of the watershed system. It helps to absorb a lot of the storm water that's coming through a river system. And by storing that water and then gradually releasing that water, it dampens the impact of floods downstream.
And one area that demonstrates this function is, of course, the Crooked Tree Wildlife Sanctuary wetland.
The Crooked Tree lagoon system then forms a natural reservoir for those floods that are coming down. Right? Otherwise, all of that would end up in the Belize City area and outside Belize City and flood both highways, the northern highway and the western highway.
While the floods of 2008 highlighted Crooked Tree's role in flood protection, the importance of the wetland's significance was first recognized by the government of Belize in 1984, when more than 16,000 acres of waterways, logwood swamps, and lagoons were designated the country's first wildlife sanctuary. 2 years later, Bemopan enlisted the help of the Belize Audubon Society to act as the site's co-manager. Today, Crooked Tree is a key stop for migratory water birds and is the last known regional stronghold for jabiru storks. That fact has not gone unnoticed by the international community. In April 1998, Crooked Tree was named a Ramsar site.
That means that they're very important not only to the nation where they are designated, but rather to the international community. It's a site that is important to the world.
Specifically, the Ramsar Convention promotes the conservation and wise use of all wetlands through local, regional, and national actions and international cooperation as a contribution towards achieving sustainable development throughout the world. That's because throughout the world, wetlands are being lost rapidly as they are filled, settled, and tilled. Developers along the United States Gulf Coast have already conceded that the loss of wetlands significantly contributed to the devastation caused by powerful storms like Hurricanes Rita and Katrina. But will the lessons from Louisiana trickle down to places like Belize in time?
I would like for you all to discuss what is it that you have learned from the video and from the read aloud. So you can get in your groups. We have those of you who are River on this side of the classroom. What's the name of this group here? Caribbean Sea. Caribbean Sea. Blue. Caribbean Sea is blue. Can we do that real quick? Let's conclude just using the concept map, and we will use the paper for the next activity. So you put up this one where it says who on the concept map. Who will play a role? The citizens and our leaders will play a role. What about why? Why this lesson today? Why you think you need to know about wetlands or watersheds? If we do not manage the proper way and use our resources the proper way, what will happen? We have severe, very good, we will have severe environmental crisis, we have severe economic crisis, and we have health crisis. So you put this up where it says why. So that's important, why we need to know about this. And then Rhea told us that Belize has 33 watersheds, and we said that watersheds and wetlands are important to us. Why are they important? If you go back to the beginning of the lesson, remember you all come and you create this mind map and you put sports, health, energy, aquaculture, research, development. That's why they're important. So can we have you put this up at what? What about watersheds? They are important to us. Let me see who can tell me where they think the last one will go. Belize's watersheds originate mainly from the Maya Mountain and drains into the Caribbean Sea. Why? Where? Very good. Where? Okay. I will give you 1 minute. 1 minute you will have to make up all the little words that you can get from the word wetland. From this word here. For example, one word that you can get is wet. Another word is land. You can also get the word and. So 1 minute you have in your group. So get together so that you can tell your person who is writing a word. After 1 minute, the group that has the most words that they made from the letters that are in the word wetland, you can switch around the letters as long as there are letters that are in this word. Wetland. Okay, begin. Let's see, you have 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 words. Where are your words? Turn so that you can see your words. 7. All right. What's the name of your group? What's the name of your group? River. The winning group will be the River group. Okay, let's give them a big hand. And there's a little goodie bag at the back for them. Thank you. Sit down. Thank you. All right. Listen to your extended activity. All right, pay attention to the front now. Your activity that you will now take with you will be, sit down please, will be for you to create either a song or a poem. And the connection that I want you to make is with maybe you as a Belizean and that connection that is there with you on the watersheds or the wetland. So those are some of the things that you would want to bring out in your poem or your song. Okay? And you can bring that for next week. And I also have a puzzle that I will give you that you can work on. So you will complete your puzzle after this, and you will do your, what will you do? Your song or your poem. Anyone has any question? No. If not, then thanks a lot for your time this afternoon and for your participation. Please, you can start to put away your handouts. Put them in your folder. Don't lose them, because you can refer back to them for your poem or your song that you need to write.